Because he second the people a lot. He second the people plenty. Listen to me. I write a song that a man sing. I say, Ganesh, when the game vex, you got a skin. All right, hold on. Ganesh, when the game vex, you got to run. Let me put it that way. On the enemy, Ganesh. Ganesh, let me tell you something, Ganesh. Ganesh, you know how to expose them. Ganesh can tell you about the great bishop and how he tried to hold the queen recently. Ganesh can tell you about the lady who said she fix the clock. She said she fix some markets. And Ganesh went looking by the markets when he fixing, just like she said she fix the clock, and he said looking. Let's put our hands together and welcome. I want to say this bully, but you might take it wrong. Put your hands together for the one and only Member of Parliament and APNU Chief Whip in the National Assembly, Ganesh Aditya Mahipol.
Mr. Speaker, I said the great bishop, and he is not the great bishop. In fact, he is a fake bishop. You see, we did at the street parliament. So I ain't violating no standing order. When I say the PPP wicked, stink and dirty. Comrades, I'm happy that we have come out and we are willing to participate in a grassroots exchange where Mansour Nadir has no control over what we can say, especially when it is the truth. You know, Mansour, he doesn't. When we had 31, and they said that we are now reduced to 12. Well, hear me. When we had 31, we were fragile. But today we have a solid 12. And we will build on that foundation of this solid 12. And at the next election, we will take victory with more than 36. That will be very solid. Several people told me, as recent as this afternoon, that they took a chance because they didn't like what they were seeing with the 31. And when I listened to them, I feel a little bit good that some of them 31 go on their way. Because they were part and parcel of creating the division. But today, we clean out. We clean out, we sweep out, and we wash out. And we got 12 solid. And you saw what we delivered in the National Assembly. You saw what we delivered against Mansour and the bullies on the other side. You saw how the cantankerous Kavakamites tried to hoodwink us, but we stood solid and strong, and we demonstrated that we're ready for the job. Now let me tell you, this 12, we are going to shake down this entire country in the coming days. We will walk the street. We will visit the projects. We will expose the bandits. We will bring forward the thievery And we will show you how they are filling their pockets. I start with the same stockbrook market. And I was happy. I was happy when I'm told we will be at Stockbrook Square. Because you must know, some of you who missed it, some of you who missed it, I don't know why this mic cranking out, you know. Some of you who missed it, last year, Sonia Parag, and she used to drink cow milk from Congress Place. Who knows Sonia Parag, Daddy? I know she used to drink cow milk from Congress Place. So if ungrateful was a person, Sonia is that person. Sonia Parag last year took $200 million. $200 million. Are you hearing me say? And she said, she go fix Stockbrook market with the money. I you watch and tell me, you see Stockbrook market fix? She said 200 million for the roof. I you see Stockbrook market fix? That's since last year. When we check the budget book, the 200 million gone. The 200 million spent out. The 200 million spent out. So more to fix Stockbrook market. So Sonia grabbed 200 million and she gone. Priya now grabbing 74 million. We got to put she out too. And there are several markets that they promised they would fix so that the ordinary vendors, like this mic, you know. There are several markets that they collected hundreds of millions of dollars to fix last year. And this year, we are seeing none were fixed. Ordinary, hard-working, tax-paying Guyanese pay keen attention. This government is about putting monies in the friend's pocket. They are about making themselves rich and their friends rich and the family richer and the favorites the richest. And you, the ordinary people, you are not getting anything proper. You see, Terrence will have a better understanding. But every time things go up in the market, every time your basic necessities increase in price, the people, the suppliers, they are really putting that heavy burden down to you, the consumers. And you, the ordinary people, who will have to pay expensive money, expensive prices for those basic commodities, the suppliers, they're still making the large profit and living large. So while ordinary people cannot build a flat house, the flatterers of the PPP, they are building mansions. They're buying house in Florida. They're building apartment complexes. And they are just sucking us like bloodsuckers. The PPP is a set of bloodsuckers. And we have to unite and come together. And that risk that some of us took, that risk that some of you took in the 2025 election, all I will tell you, come home, come back home. The 16 may be bigger than the 12, but they is solid like the 12. And you saw that. The 16, that number might be bigger than the 12, but they is solid like the 12. And you could see that. You see, when you're the outside, you can say anything. Them gone inside and them can't say nothing. But you're 12. You're 12. Celebrate across Guyana. Because we genuinely want to see you prosper. And this good fight can only be won once you stand solidly behind your 12. As we increase that number in the next election to more than 36. I want to leave you with a simple message. Oftentimes we come out to these public engagements and we listen at home on our devices. We listen with our smartphone and we scroll and we would laugh and we would have fun. But the task at hand requires you to do exactly what we do too. And that is to talk to your neighbor. Show out your neighbor. Let your neighbor see what you learn. Let your friends see. Tell your husband if he did work and he didn't hear. Tell your children that are of voting age. And who got sweet man and sweet woman, tell them too. Is everybody got to do? Everybody got to do. The time has come where we as ordinary, hardworking, tax-paying Guyanese must kick the cantankerous, devious, diabolical, and dangerous People's Progressive Party out of government. I thank you.
I tell you all about Ganesh. Ganesh God, great bishop, and others. Folks always saying, again, that they got enough money in this country for everybody to live nice. Nice time for everybody. Not some getting by and some gotta stay down. Everybody gotta live nice. We never had it like this. And what a time. All of us must enjoy the sweetness and the bounty of this country. You understand me, Guyanese? We for everybody. You understand me? But them guys gotta come right. Don't come wrong with funny. You gotta make it for Guyanese brothers and sisters. People who never could afford housing must be able to afford housing in this country. Good health care, good school for your kids. Proper food in your pot when the day come. But we don't see that. We don't see that. What we see is a callous and uncaring government. Folks, we heading into some uncharted territory, you know. Don't get confused with the fancy lights flashing and so on. Uncharted territory. Y'all hear Starbucks News closing down? Y'all hear Starbucks News closing down? Government owe $100 million to Starbucks News and they won't pay Starbucks News. How you can run a business like that in this country? They are deliberately sending that paper out of business. You know why? Because a paper like Ganesh is valid, credible information. Starbucks News to moderation with this government. And so they want to silence Starbucks News. Our teachers right now going through some things. They threw down correctly the other day in the parliament. because they know what they were about to do. Ganesh tell you about Mansoor. You can't trust them. And so now they're trying to pull a fast one on the teachers by changing the rules. We gotta watch them. It's a very uncaring government. And the further out you go, is the more you see the depravity of this government. Roads and bill yesterday, done failing already. I don't know if we can come back next week and see this tarmac looking the way it does right now. The clock, they tell me, is moving 5 times as fast as it should. What kind of your clock is this? What kind of your clock? Yes. You see these people? You see? But I am grateful that Philip cameras can take me out in any light and I can still look handsome. But that being said, folks, I want to call on a good friend of mine, a young man I respect. You know, they told us we don't have good role models in this country. That's what they're trying to tell us. But I ain't not gonna let them pick our role models for us. We got good role models in this country. And the next fella I want to call, I want to recommend him as a role model. We got many of them. Put your hands together and let us welcome attorney at law. Please and thank you, Ronald Daniels, a good role model for our young men and women. Put your hands together for him.
Why y'all acting surprised that the light cut off? We are accustomed to this. And at the time we got the energy conference, the light cutting off. And y'all know whether or not we get the light, we still paying high light bills, yes? So Sharon introducing me as attorney at law Ronald Daniels. But before I turn an attorney at law, I used to walk right down there at the 42 Park as a bus conductor and as a bus scout. I worked as a vendor too. But if I didn't know back then that I was vending the wrong thing, I would have sell chocolate instead. So for those of y'all who wasting y'all time selling other things, y'all better get on board with the chocolate factory. Folks, listen. I know that y'all just come from a hard day's work. Y'all not looking to head home after a hard month's work. But sorry to disappoint y'all. Y'all gonna get a real hard weekend. Because y'all got to decide whether I gonna pay for the current, whether I gonna pay for the water, whether I gonna buy the food with the little frag that I make over the hard month's work, or whether I gonna carry my family out or go out with my friends for Mash Day. My friend is saying that she's staying on Mash Day, and I know a lot of other people staying on Mash Day because you got to decide. The cost of living high. If the cost of living high, you said too high. It's the cost of living high. I'm enjoying the parliamentarians and use the 1.558. I'm wasting my time with them big number. Because you know and I know that the 0.558 already set aside. It's kicking back to the chocolate factory. Because more people got to be building mansions from the chocolate enterprise, yes? It's kicking back to the agricultural industry because More people in the agricultural industry got to be building mansions, yes? It's kicking back to the indigenous industry, and not the real indigenous industry, the other indigenous industry, not the one that you are representing, but the one that building mansions, while no mansion being built for the real indigenous people. And this is a budget in which we put in people first. Listen, they say that this budget is the largest in the history of Guyana, but so is the cost of living. This is the largest cost of living in the history of Guyana. Plantains on the market is almost $400 a pound. Some places you're paying more. When have you paid so much for plantains? I am a sucker for plantains. I can't even buy the fat plantains anymore. I could only buy the fine plantains. And when I buy the fine plantains, I ain't even got to cut it up. I just peel it and fry it just so. Because they're real fine. My brother is saying just now that he can't even peel it. He got to fry it with the skin. And this is how we put in people first in the fastest growing economy in the world. Folks, there was a time in this country when the small man was the real man. The small man is not the real man anymore. The small man is the small piece man. Let me hear you say it, the small piece man. And if you don't believe me, check this out here. If I give you a 5,000, you're going to say, I give you a small piece, yes? But this is what they're doing to the pensioners, giving them a small piece. The small man is what kind of man? The small piece man. If you give a child a little $100, you're giving them a small piece. When we crunch the numbers on the transportation subsidy, it's just $100 a day or $111 a day your child getting. So the small man is what kind of man? The small piece man. And this is how we put in the people first. That can't be how we put in the people first. Listen, folks. The legal system in this country is a mess, and I can tell you that because I'm working in the legal system. A lot of these folks around the market here to tell you how often the police is coming and harass them. And we building bigger stations to house the corruption. Bigger station, bigger allocation in the budget to house the corruption. No reformation, we just reforming the corruption. People saying that they got to pay millions of dollars to get, well, $1.5 million to be exact, to get a gun license. And we locking up those people. We are making allocations to investigate that. We locking up the people who complain. How much people who can't afford legal representation getting locked up for 72 hours and then released without charge. And you can't go nowhere and complain. That is how they're treating this small man. We're building the big stations, big allocations in the budget for the police them. And we're hearing how much young recruits, how much females getting sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, and gotta give sexual favors to get promotions. Where in the budget we contemplating therapy and counseling for those recruits? But we're enlarging the corruption. And we're saying it's a people-centered budget. Not a people-centered budget. Folks, I want you to listen to me carefully on this one here. The government looking to plug a lot of monies into the city. They want to fix the roads, they want to clean the drains, they want to clean up the streets. They had how much years to do that? But they're not doing that. Now they want to do that because we're moving on to the local government elections, and the city, Georgetown, is the seat of power in this country. Georgetown is the biggest constituency in this country. So when they take over Georgetown, it means that they can silence your voices. But we can't allow that. We can't allow that. Let me hear you say, no way! I'm hearing you over there. No way! We ain't giving up the city. We keeping the keys to the city. This is the seat of power, and we keeping the keys to the city. This is really a one Guyana budget. It's a one Guyana budget, but it doesn't consider you. It doesn't consider you. It doesn't consider you over there. It doesn't consider any one of y'all over there. You know why? Because y'all are not part of that one Guyana. Y'all are part of the real Guyana. And the real Guyana is going to stand up against the government's corruption. Love and blessings, Georgetown. Love and blessings, Guyana. And we in the APNU, we will continue to put the people first.
All right, small piece. Listen to me. We got big piece now. And everybody got to get big piece. You see, small piece was when we had small piece citation. And now we got to increase and go up. They want to keep us as small piece people, to keep us down. But we got to go up. You know, I was telling my colleagues a couple of weeks ago, I was in Region 9 with MP Region Finance, looking at the housing situation there. And the housing situation there is as bad as it is here. If it's not worse. If you see some small piece houses, they want to get people to live in this country. I make no bones about it. The house is small, you stretch out your hand, you're touching both walls. That's small piece housing. And the fastest growing economy on earth. You see people treat you how they see you. And we got to change that. You throw down your towel in the house's wall-to-wall carpet, just like that. We got to house people with dignity. Come away from this small piece mentality. They're giving people some 2x4 land. And then somebody could come in this country tomorrow sport, you get point something of an acre. You want your 40 acre to and a mule? As the people say proverbially, we got to treat people with respect in this country. We make the 50% increase in wages and salaries that they promised me since 2020. Y'all get the cash grant they promised me for last year, December? Oh! I see they're handing out this electronic ID, forcing workers to take it. And we passed 2 laws in the National Assembly since 2023 that should safeguard Guyanese against the misuse of your data. And they finally can't sign off on them till now. And they want to tell us that they care about you. Imagine in the National Assembly, Dr. David Hines, they want to crucify him upside down for talking about reparations. And the same people want to give a standing ovation Orphan Alley where he talk about reparations. Chanel talking tomorrow night. We put on the speakers list. But we gotta do better. We gotta demand more. Folks, I know some of you might be tired in this struggle because you've been at it for a long time. But I want to call on you, as Ganesh said, as Nimas, continue standing with us in this great struggle that our kids and our grandkids can have a better life. I am not saying it just for APNU. This country belongs to all of us. I would have seen with this government, if the rising tide, they float all boats. But the rising tide don't float in all boats. We had a man at housing named Sherwin Greaves. You know what drive you away from housing? The discovery that Sherwin Greaves, I think it's Terrence that out him, had a fire tale of a house in New York, someplace, hundreds of thousands of US dollars. But last you see $1,000 in your hand. And then the minister within the Ministry of Housing, she got a big house in Florida. I want to see what your house look like. Who got a house in Florida? I want to see what your gallery look like. Huh? I want to see what your settee look like. Your fancy stereo and so. How come some people boats rising faster than some other people in the same country? That's why I said when we started, brothers and sisters, those of you watching us at home and sharing the live stream, what is in this $1.558 trillion for you? I want to know if your house in Florida in that budget. I want to know if your chocolate in that budget. What is in it for you? But I want to call the man who knows what is in it for you. Maybe he will tell you something different than the other speakers, because this fellow is a successful businessman. You know, a lot of people in this country might got millions and billions. He is like them, but he got it on the right way. As my sister says, we don't do nothing illegal over this side, but some people say that's the problem with y'all. But we like them kind of problems. We like them kind of problems. We can hold our head high any day and walk with dignity. We not like these hypocrites, these jagabats. We not like these trench croppers, these tadpoles and cricketers. We not like these zombie birds. God damn it. Put your hands together and let's welcome the leader of the APNU parliamentary team in the National Assembly, a businessman, his whole life, work hard, earn his money the right way, earn his millions the right way, a real doctor, not no fake doctor, not no quactor. The man went to university and studied, and at accredited university too. Not no university that come up last night. Not a flat. No country university in Russia. A proper university. He has a first-class education. Let us put our hands together and welcome Member of Parliament, Terrence Campbell. Put your hands together for this young man.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And this is a favorable speaker. And tonight, I don't have any limits on time, but I don't plan to talk for very long. And I want to be controversial for some people, but I am not ashamed to remind you all that today is the 103rd birth anniversary of the founder leader of the People's National Congress. And for those of you who were at the reclaiming ceremony, the leader of the party gave us a history of the contributions of the founder leader. The Linden Highway, the Damar Harbor Bridge, NIS, where some of you already getting your pension and so on. And when he reviewed it, we were left convinced that there has never been a greater leader of Guyana than Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. And so last week and the week before, we were in Parliament and we were discussing the budget. And we know that there are a lot of arguments in this country about poverty. We are on the road, and I was talking to MP Joretta, and she said she was over the river and she saw some real poverty this afternoon. And we have the country and we have seen real poverty. But they got a guy who was a Minister of Finance who all he could come and claim is that the 58% that we say is wrong, but he has no figure whatsoever to offer for what is the real poverty rate. And when we ask him to provide it, if you're going to fix poverty in this country, you must know where it exists, amongst who it exists, so you can target it. He is uninterested in that. This government, this PPP government, has no interest in the poor in this country. It doesn't have any interest in the people of this country. So, back when Forbes Burnham was leader, in 1976, 50 years ago, we had transformation in education, which is one of the surest routes out of poverty. We had free education, and the leader spoke about it. But I want to delve into it. I want to dive into it a little more. One of the things, he didn't only make education free, but he made it more accessible. And he built multilateral schools straight across this country. Bijval, Bladen Hall, Linden, New Amsterdam, Anna Regina, North Rheinfeld. And a lot of people were able to attend these multilateral schools. And out of those schools, we got doctors, we got lawyers, we got veterinarians, we got architects, many professionals, people who would not have had an opportunity otherwise to even go to high school, were able to do so through those schools that Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham built. Let me say that there is the most crooked, it is unfortunate that one of the most crooked men in Guyana, Bharat Jagdeo, also is a graduate. He would not have gone to high school without Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. And when he came back to Guyana from Moscow, even though he was a PPP scholar in Moscow, the government of Guyana, the PNC government of Guyana, gave him a job at State Planning Commission. Today, nobody who associates with the PNC could get a job under this PPP government. And that shows you the difference between us and them. But the time is coming when we will rout them out in 2030. I want you to understand that the 12, that number, you know that number, it has symbolism. It has symbolism to which they are afraid. And when we were in Parliament, and my fellow MPs can tell you, they didn't look at the 16, the war was with the 12. And when we hit them hard with economic facts, with corruption and so on, all the finance minister could do, and I will say it public here, is raise up his skirt and abuse. That's all he could do. Raise up. You go back. You listen. The points that we hit him, we said, come, show us your poverty data. He had none. We said, you're taking, how the property tax is a tax, not the one you pay to the city council or your NDC, the one you pay to GRA. Only rich people pay this tax. He has taken that off for the rich people. He given the rich people 1.5 billion, while the poor people still suffering in this country. And you know, I have to confess that I'm happy that you could sit down, but I'm not happy that we are here at the suffering of vendors. There were vendors who were here, and they have a right to vend. They have a right to make a living. Everybody has a right to make a living. And this government ought to find ways in order to give them. I have said to them, I said, tear down the prison from in the middle of Georgetown. Somebody said, use some of these government buildings behind there, move them. But people have a right to make a living. They're trying to make an honest living, and it is wrong for them. And look at the corruption. Not only they put up this big thing, and it sure is one of their friends, family, and favorites got the screens of them making money here right now. And this has to stop. But you know, I was watching, somebody sent me a TikTok recently. And this was a young Indo-Guyanese female dentist. And she started off her TikTok. She says, am I the only one who is feeling left behind, even as all of this, she said development. I don't believe it's development, it's just growth. But she asked this question, and she certainly didn't seem like an APNU supporter. She could be, maybe. But she asked the question, if she's the only one, who's feeling left behind. And imagine she is a dentist, and she's making a good salary. She's making a good salary as a dentist, but yet she is saying that the cost of living is running and she is starting to lose. She can't compete in this economy. So if somebody, a dentist with a good job and a good salary, can't compete, what is happening to the ordinary man on the street? And her problem is not her problem alone. It is your problem. It is my problem. And it comes because this government is focusing only on infrastructure. This government is not focusing on people. And every time in the 1.558 trillion budget, they raided the oil money. That's a windfall that we had. They went and they took out 495 billion. And even that is not enough for this infrastructure, because the infrastructure budget is 780 billion. So they go in and borrow money. And you know why? Because that is how they make their money. That is how they make their money. And it was ironic that just as we were in there debating the budget, a Jamaican friend talked out the story. He said he was a contractor at the Hosororo school. And he said everybody, including people close to the government, busy shaking him down. And this is not only happening with schools, this is happening with the roads, this is happening with every single thing. You know, and let me explain to you what is happening. Now, if you're going to build a new house, you're going to look for a good contractor. A good contractor hard to find. And when the good contractor most likely going to be busy, you can say, here now, I got some projects here now. I can start you in April, or I can start you in May. But because you want your job done properly, you're going to wait till April or May for this good contractor to do your house. Good. Now, this government ain't operating like that, you know. This government taking every Tom, Dick, Harry, Sheridan, Ganesh, and putting them to build road and house. We know when they take Tom, Dick, Harry, Sheridan, Ganesh, is nothing proper being built. And so anything they build, if it's a hospital, it's leaking. If it's a school, it ain't do properly. If it's a road, in 6 months it broke up. And now all of this money, all these billions being spent, put into their hand. Now when they come back, when their friends and their family make all this money, and they come out now, and you're going to buy a piece of land, or you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a house. When you say 10 million, they say 45. You understand? Because of all this money that's spinning within them. And so every single thing in this country going up in cost. And this is why the poor man, and even the middle-class young dentist, everybody is feeling left behind in this country. They have no concern for anybody but themselves. Comrades, I want to tell you that this 12 is different. And why we are here is because we are not only going to be in Parliament, but you put us there. And so we have come here tonight to report to you on what is happening. And I am telling you, now that they passed their own budget, and in the process of passing that budget, they came to us tonight and they asked for us to approve $18 billion of money that they thief out and spend out between November and December. And we stood up and we said, not on our watch. And we called for division, and every single member of the opposition who was present there that night voted against them getting that $18 billion. And so we will scrutinize them. Of the 12, you got 6 experienced and 6 fresh. But we are together. We are together as one. We will work together. We will travel this country. We will scrutinize their projects. We will hold them accountable. And it will be a war between the 12 and them. And if you never see 12 beat 36, watch the show. Watch the ride. You know, the corruption like it can done. Because even during the budget and afterwards, we saw that the Minister of Natural Resources, he gave listen, a lot has been in the public domain about the Minister of Agriculture and mansions that he got and so on. But these guys ain't got no shame. Immediately after we saw that the Minister of Natural Resources gave the son of the same Zulfikar Mustafa over 2,000 acres of acres of land to mine gold without any bidding. He exempted him from the bidding process. This government, this PPP government, has no shame. They are kleptocrats. They intend to thief, and nothing will stop them thieving. But they, you know, it's only 4.5 years to go. And when it comes to 2030, we are looking forward for your support. We will do the work and we will route them out. You know, they did not say anything. They hid because they have an agreement with the teachers union. I think it was 7, 8, and 9% for this year. The public service union, the agreement ended in 2025. And I have a feeling that they are just going to come with 9% for the public service workers. But that is unacceptable. The public service workers, our nurses, our public servants in the ministries who must help us to get things processed, 9% can do, right? This is ridiculous, and from now, I am calling on them, don't bring no 9% for the public service workers. Because in the hospitals, when I asked the Minister of Health, he said he got all the staff for all the hospitals. I said, tell me how was the number supposed to be each hospital? He said, no, we got all the staff. He never came out with the numbers. And let me tell you, when you press them and you got them up against the wall and you're firing blows with them, a man, I ain't gonna call your name because he say you can't criticize you in public. A man that's jumping and trying to block for them when you got them up against the wall. But we have our nurses that are underpaid. We got our teachers that are underpaid. How are we going? We saw Burnham had it that education was an important part of developing this country. Education was important for taking us out of poverty. How are we going to come out of poverty if we don't pay our teachers so they can teach our children well? The results in this country are only 30% of the people who actually write the CXCs do well enough, get the 5 subjects. We got to pay our teachers well. We got to train our teachers better. We got to pay our nurses and our doctors. Too often we see people going to Diamond Hospital, 24-hour service, and there's nobody there to treat them. They're building all these hospitals. The building is good, But it's the people, it's the human resource inside that will really deliver to us the care that we need. I say to you, I went to Bottom House School for Common Entrance. Bottom House, it ain't had no fan or nothing, but the man was a good teacher. And so we must pay our teachers better. We must pay our nurses better. We must pay our policemen better. 9% can do. You know, and with all the money, 1.558 trillion, they're going to turn around social assistance. They raise it from 22 to 25, $3,000 a month. Old age pension from 41 to 46. As far as I'm concerned, this is a pumpkin budget, because it means that all you get in extra is one pumpkin a month for your whole family. We can do much better in this country. We had promised, and I know that there are many people who went and voted for other parties who are regretting today, especially the older ones, because we had promised $100,000 for old age pension. And come 2030, you know, the thing, what I want you to remember, that the only party in this country that is serious about reducing poverty, that is serious about leveling the playing field, that is serious about sharing the wealth equally, that is serious of holding those thieves accountable is the APNU. You cannot depend on the corrupt to hold the corrupt accountable. So this brings me back where I started. Transformation. We are heirs to the administration, to the founders of the PNC. We are heirs to the legacy of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. And we will work. We will work to deliver. We will push them over the next couple of years until the next election. We will push them so that by the next budget, they are not shortchanging you. We will hold them accountable. We will expose them. We will look for the corruption wherever we can find it, comrades. And we will show them up. We will travel across this country from Region 1 to Region 10, from Point Player to Ishalton. We will go across this entire country, and we will bring change in this country. We will deliver for this country so each and every one of you will enjoy everything that Guyana has to offer. The clock said 12, so I will wish you happy Mashimani. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. The clock said 12. Happy Mashimani. No be clock. This clock going 5 times as fast as any clock you ever see. This is the clock. Happy Mashimani. I heard Dr. Terrence Campbell mention a couple things before we call the next speaker. You see that 9% is different, a different salary scale. Somebody who's earning $100,000 minimum wage, earning 9%, I'm advised is how much? $9,000. Take Irfan Ali that earns $2 million a month. His 9% is $180,000 more added to his salary. You remember they fought us for the 50% increase? They said when we come in, we gonna roll it back till they're like, no. They roll back the 50%, you know? So they benefit from that. These hypocrites and every other increase. And their 9%, their 10%, their 8% is different from your 8%. Not all 8% and 9% created equal. And I heard Dr. Terrence Campbell talk about Region 1 as well. Well, let me head back to that issue you raised about the Hosuroro Secondary School in Region 1. Because there is where the criminality is. Brothers and sisters, I tell you, the further out we go from the national capital city of Georgetown, there's the more the corruption, Dora. I've been going to Region 1 a couple times, and every time I go to Region 1, I check on the progress of this $3 billion secondary school in Osororo. And it always bothered me why this secondary school ain't finishing. This school was supposed to take 8 months to finish. 3 years later, the school is still building. And then a contractor from Jamaica came forward and he exposed the corruption. I knew we had corruption plenty, but my God, they carry corruption to art form. The Jamaican contractor said, before he even knew officially he had the contract, somebody call him. Somebody call him. They tell him, don't tell him I tell you, but you win the contract. I want a 10 million. For the thing to come too quick, I want a 10 million. He said when he finished a portion of the contract work, another person call you and tell you, the check that finance is ready. This is not the official channel, you know. The person then only call you, they send you a photograph of the check. They say 100 million cut. This is why schools and other projects are not being completed. This is why Bellevue in Region 3, the pump station, 3 years and it's still trying to complete. This is where the corruption there. That contractor exposed why the Osororo $3 billion secondary school is still not finished. But let me give you 2 other instances in Region 1. Port Kaituma in Region 1. There was a stelling that they're building there. I sure Ganesh know the name of the stelling. Ganesh like Facebook, he know everything. When I went to see that stelling, you see Starbuck News going out of business because of these shagamats. You are your news, you contact Ganesh. He got a credible source. He got that stelling in Port Kaituma. When they took me to see that stelling, they get a contract with their friends, their family and their favorite. The stelling falling in the river. They're building the stelling for billions of dollars, and the stelling falling in the river. That stelling ain't finished till now. You know they do? They take some big industrial plastic and they cover it down. How many other corrupt projects in this country ain't covered down? But let me stay in Region 1. I went to Moruca, Santa Rosa, Bajurita, and we were going from Santa Rosa to Cobana. If you see the road there, I don't know what the U.S. Secretary of State would call that road. If he called the Heroes Highway the Concussion Road, he would call that the Abortion Road perhaps. And government ministers, they don't go on that road. They go from Santa Rosa to Cobana by helicopter. But you and I, we can't afford that. The road is so bad. How much you have to pay from Georgetown to Sioux Dyke? It's 20 miles from Santa Rosa to Cobana. How much is the bus fare? You know what you pay? $20,000 in a car to go from Santa Rosa to Cobana because the road is so bad. But that is not the crux of the matter. Before I call the next speaker, we were passing a particular spot. I still in Region 1, corruption, you know. And the taxi driver said, Mr. Duncan, they're building a regional hospital here. I said, huh? Well, y'all know I train on the Ganesh fast. If you see the big fence, higher than the Great Wall they had out here to block out the vendors. You can't peep over this wall. So I took out my drone. I said, drone, you fast like Ganesh. Drone, take one. The taxi driver said they're building the hospital behind this big wall. But you see when you spell clean, you pick up things. So I pick up and we spell something wrong here. Something wrong here. Spirits so Duncan stop and people over the big wall. I said, spirit, yes, I will stop. So I stop now, I look over this big wall. The drone gone up. When the drone go up, I looking for the hospital and the hospital looking for me. The wall high Higher than the Great Wall of China. You got a big signboard showing you the depiction. The taxi driver, like many of you, be the test. He said, don't come to bed in the hospital right behind there. I said, well, this DJI Maverick 3 Pro, don't lie. This drone never lead me wrong. It crashed the other day, Linda, but that's not another story. This drone never, when I put up the drone, it's a big open field. The fencing alone must be $3 billion. Defense high! And that's only region 1. I've been to schools in region 7, unfinished at Chowala. I've been in region 9, Karasabai, schools languishing, Tabatinga, 4 years, schools still building. My God, the corruption in this country too much. And the next speaker often tells us, if we could only save the money that being bled through corruption, we could pay our teachers decent salaries. Our policemen don't have to take a bribe. Our policemen ain't got to be wedding planners. Our policemen ain't got to be nanny. We could pay our soldiers properly. We could pay our teachers, our doctors and nurses. But you see the little cabal going with everything. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm being told before we get the disciple of Barnum, we will get a young man who is going to come for a couple minutes and tell us, talk the things as only he can. Now, we got to surround ourselves with a lot of attorney at laws in this party because the slightest thing, they got to have a court step. I tell y'all, if I take down this flag that's flying after 6, you're going to hear I defacing public property, I assault the poll, they want the poll come and get testimony at the High Court, all manner of things. So we got to surround ourselves with good lawyers. Put your hands together and let's welcome the young attorney at law, freshly minted, Eden Corbin. Put your hands together for him.
All right, good night, everyone. I would like to take this time to welcome you all to the last part of our shareholders meeting for the company called Guyano. And I have just a few minutes to present to you my summaries from the audit that has been conducted by the fantastic. Well, give our MPs a round of applause, please. Give our MPs. They have been doing a great job. And many times, and I'll take the liberty on their behalf, many times people don't realize how hard it is to sit down in Parliament for those hours that they do. From 2 o'clock in the evening to 3 in the morning, that is not an easy task. And then when you have to watch this government spend and be unable to justify their spending, we have enough of it. So let's talk about the first thing. 1, Guyana has been dubbed many years ago as the fastest growing economy. Today we have on paper one of the best economies in the entire world. But you and I know the realities are different. We are living in the fastest growing economy, and the only thing that is growing is the cost of living. And what does the government propose to assist you with that? Pensioners, all an extra $1,000. Teachers, you don't know, 9% increase. Public servants, you had to pray that the retro touch your account. And we've had enough of the nonsense. Somebody say enough of the nonsense. The road that we are on is not an easy road, comrades. But it is our road. And some of the roads that we have to travel to get even here, we know it's not easy roads either. The budget has presented to us an infrastructural budget, label putting people first. How that makes sense? All they are doing is building and building and building. And the society, the communities, the country, the regions, the cities, the villages that we live in are not being built up to scratch. They build what they have budgeted for called a road. But when we go, we see it as a sidewalk. They are building, you know, Sharon just mentioned it, the road named after the Heroes Highway. They told us that that will change the transportation in this country. They were 2-3 years behind schedule and $100 million over the budget. And what do we have today? All they have done is move the traffic from one area and send it to another area. The Hagmash Road connected to that same road. 2-3 years behind schedules, $100 million over budget. I don't know about you guys, but I know that when you have a big organization and you're sending for contracts, you got to send something called a quotation. Comrades, Guyana, Stabrook News, this budget does not have quotations. They cannot prove how they arrived at the figures that they have arrived. And all we get is 3 hours of fluff. 3 hours of fluff. But you know what? They don't have any respect for us. Because they want us Guyanese people to believe that they have our best interests at heart. You hear what Auntie said? We know they're lying. And the lying is now prefaced in the pages of the 2026 budget. There are more pressing issues in this country, comrades. I have the distinct opportunity to go every single day and represent the average Guyanese. People who are tied up in many issues. And the money that they spend to build a road, they could take that same money and invest it in the justice system. Too much of our young men are being caught. Too many of our young men are going to jail for no reason, and there is no recourse for them. We try our part, we do our part, but comrades, we are just one out of many Guyanese in this lovely 86,000 square miles that we call home. Instead of bridging the gap between wealthy and poor, the 2026 budget only bridges the gap between their pockets and the government bank account. They have called all kinds of things, but let me stick here for a bit. They said the budget is titled, Putting People First. Where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that before? Guyana, we have to pay attention. You have heard the speakers before me. So I'm not going to lament too much, but we have to pay attention. The old people say, show me your colors. Show me your company, sorry. I'm thinking about the colors. Forgive me, it's Mashamani. Happy Masha, everybody. But show me your company. And I tell you who you are. We see the company that they keep, where ministers can line their pockets while the average man on the street is looking for it. In case you did not know, let me give you some information. Crime on Guyana is on the rise. The robberies are increasing. More drugs are passing through. People are unsettled and restless because they cannot find the proper ways to sustain themselves. Where is the single mother who has a child and she's forced to go to work and then she's forced to leave the work, jump into the public transportation? We are standing in another fool. This right here. You vendors remember when they came and they promised you this and it is going to uplift. And look what we get. Cement, concrete, and dreams. And that is what this budget is giving us. Cement, concrete, and dreams. Because explain to us, why is the Natural Resources Fund being pummeled? No justification. And if you want us to talk about infrastructure, what does the budget say about infrastructure? The budget says that there are contracts that have not been completed and money has been passed in full. And if that is not worse, they are asking for extra money to support the money that they already spent, and we are still waiting to see the receivables. They go on their lives and they go on their big platforms and whatever it is, and they spew a lot of things. They are critical. But if 12 persons could shine such a broad light on the corruption that we see manifested, comrades, imagine if that 12 was 24. Imagine if that 24 was 36. Just imagine what this Guyana would look like. They criticize us through the entire election season. I received some of it too. And they criticize us just to turn around, take our slogan and take the heart out of it and present it to the Guyanese people as if we don't know better. Look at the education sector. The schools outside of Georgetown don't get much attention. Look at the housing sector. How many people here apply for land? One person. How many people here have their own land? How many people out there renting? A lot of us, we have proposed initiatives, not just talks, things that are tested, tried, and proven. And what does the government do? They allocate a couple more billions. And how do the contracts work? Let me tell you how the contract works. If a contract or if a bid for a contract is at $100 million, you need at least $30 to $50 million on you for you to successfully get that bid. You look at the budget, they are increasing the cost of the bids because they know the small man like me and you, we cannot be able to find that money. And what we have is when you recycle the money in one set of hands. You wash the money, you pass it to this person, who pass it to that person, and it arrives back at the first point of origin. You have persons going on social media criticizing, not APNU followers, not PNCR people, not Eden, not Terrence, not Sherrod. You have people with no political buy-in who have dealt with the government, and they have the most. I am ashamed as a Guyanese citizen. I am ashamed to hear what the foreigners are saying. But you go invest on Camp Street. You go to the Ministry of Finance, and they're not going to paint that picture for you. They are going to tell you at their conferences and their big, largely attended galas that Guyana is doing great, when only the 1% are in attendance at those functions. While you and I have to study how we're going to make 5,000 stretch into 15,000. Every day we go to the market, the prices are increasing. When the government say, oh, we have given more money to agriculture, we have given more money to health. I heard my comrade earlier talking about the health sector. I don't have to tell you, because I know a lot of you are dependent on public health, and you know the stress and the strain it is to get proper attention when you go to the public hospitals. And they are going to tell you in their budget that we have increased the money, that we have built more hospitals. But let me tell you something. A rose by a rose, or call a rose any other name, and you know what? It's still a rose. And you could call corruption growth. You could call corruption development. You could call corruption building Guyana. And you know what? It is still corruption. And the budget should have been known. Put in corruption first, not the people, because the people are not first. We are not even second in our own country. Because the government has designed the system to encourage investors, as if we didn't have enough sue in the country. And don't misconstrue me. I have no issue against any investors and foreign people coming into my country and building it. But the problem is when I have to live like a second-class citizen in my own country, while you have people coming, buying cars, buying land, getting grant, getting subsidies, and me and you have to fight, pray and beg to hope that we are going to get 100,000 cash grant this year. And you know the thing is, I want you guys, and I will close on this point, I want you guys to pay attention, because this budget distinguishes the perception versus the reality. The PPP perceive us through their budget as simple minds, as desperate people. When the president said that 100,000 can't change somebody's circumstance, you know what I heard? I heard that you say that we're so desperate for it and we're just looking for handouts. And I know everybody out there is working because you got to look for it. You can't survive. You could have get one job back in the day and do well. Now you have to get one job for rent, one job for light bill, one job for internet, and a next job just to put food on the table. And the budget doesn't address that. So my shareholders, my fellow Guyanese, my comrades, let us take this budget as a warning. Let us take this budget as highlighting the things that we know are wrong and the things that we will promise to ourselves that we will never repeat. Because while they think they can get away with it, we will be there. As my friend Onyx Duncan says, we got the receipts and we are going to keep it. And I want you pay attention at every single step the government does, every mistake they make and everything they do, we are on to them. And as my comrade said earlier, they will be surprised to see how 12 can overpower 36. So in closing, Guyana, we got to be vigilant. Somebody say vigilance. We got to be vigilant. When we see the ministers and them, we want to know where the money there, how you spend it. And to the persons who said that they wanted to support the PPP government, well, the 2026 budget, take door. Take door. And without holding any further, comrades, I will take my leave. But even though I leave now, our work ain't finished. It now starts and it will continue. And it depends on you, it depends on me, and all of us to hold this government accountable. Because we may not have the votes, but we have the voice. We may not have the votes or the numbers, but we got the voice. And the voice of the people is what? The voice of the people is what? So comrades, lift up your voices. Make noise. Scrutinize. Pay attention. Because we're not going to let them get away with it. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Brother Eden Corbin. Take that. Take that. Congress Place, you got a lot of activities happening. Stay posted to our Facebook pages for those activities. You understand me? Stay posted on our Facebook pages. If you like sing and so on, you like take a little small thing and so, all right. Stay posted to our Facebook pages. Without further ado, folks, I want to invite the former, well, we deal with no farmers, the leader of the People's National Congress Reform, our political leader for the 12th of the National Assembly as well, and the leader for partnership with national unity. A man I call a disciple of Burnham. Give it up for the one and only Aubrey Norton.
Good evening. Good evening. I want to begin by saying to you that I have every confidence that the 12 members of parliament we have identified in terms of quality is better than 36 plus 16. For those of you who saw the debate, you would have already arrived at the conclusion that the only true representatives sitting in that parliament, they come from the APNU. It is we who dissected the budget. It is we who looked at the budget and said to you that they put 58% for infrastructure because it offers them the opportunity to thief. You must understand what it means. A budget is the mechanism by which a government allocates resources. And when you look at the budget, you know who will benefit and who will not benefit. This budget will benefit the rich and kill the poor. In infrastructure, you will see them talking about building roads, etc. I had to say this morning when I spoke about Burnham, that when we built road, they last. Many of them until now. With the trillions they spend, they cannot produce nothing like the Suez-Linden Highway. But you must understand, the interest is not in serving the people. The interest is putting resources there for corruption. Let us understand what happens. When you allocate all of that money to corruption, to infrastructure, more than 40% will go to corruption. What that means is that if we had saved that 40%, you could have gotten your cash transfer. You could have gotten buses to take your children to school. But they're not interested in people. They are interested in making money for themselves. I want to say this to Guyanese. We must learn a lesson from the last elections. And the lesson is, the PPP will promise you whatever, but they will deliver little or nothing. That is the nature of the beast. I want to say this to you. Local government elections are coming. And it is critical that we beat them and beat them bad in Georgetown, Linden, and New Amsterdam. Why do we need to beat them bad? We need to beat them bad because if they put their hands on those municipalities, they will control the lands and you will be further marginalized. So when you vote in the upcoming local government election, you are voting for the right to determine what happens in your tongue. They will spend endless money to get the tongues. I think they should learn by now that the money they spend to take them with them, they don't bring votes with them. And so we will work assiduously and ensure that we beat them in the 3 key municipalities. The PPP's only interest right now is to get their hands on Georgetown. It will not happen. I want to urge you to look and observe what is happening. I was an opposition leader. And when I got up in the National Assembly to speak, I spoke to the budget. I explained all the issues. And so let it be clear. The purpose of the opposition is to represent people, not to go and talk about you business. You business is you business. You make your trouble, face your consequences. That's your reality. We want to represent our people. We want to ensure that our people get a fair share. The biggest problem right now in this country is that we have the fastest growing economy, but we have the least money meeting our people. Our struggle is to ensure that the resources from this country meet the people of this country. This morning I told them that Burnham left this country food secured. We produce all the food we needed, and you could have afforded it. Now you cannot afford it. It is not just about the growing economy. It is about the resources from that economy that are meeting the people, and that is the critical issues. And so, let us understand, we are in a big fight for the reallocation of resources. We have to push for more resources to be allocated to benefit the people of Guyana. It is unfortunate in the last elections that a lot of attention wasn't paid to the manifestos. And people with money went TikTok and they had a nice time. But you know, I told somebody, you could go to the dance, but when you meet the dance, if you can't dance, you're in trouble. People can carry away your girl. We are about to take back our girls. We find you come to the dance, but you can't dance. And so, we need to be very clear. We are going to go into every nook and cranny and speak to young people. We need our young people to understand the reality. And the reality is that they are not benefiting from the system. And all these promises about money that would have flowed after the election, you recognize it in flowing. In fact, people might be flown. So, let us get out there and engage young people. The PPP has a trick. You know what is the trick? They are not educating young people because they believe and know. When young people are not educated, they are gullible and they can believe anything. We have got to get out there and educate them. We have to let them know what is it we intend to do for them. We have to let them know that they can benefit if we are organized and have a clear idea as to what we want to achieve. What do we want to achieve? We want to achieve a situation in which a significant amount of the resources that are coming from oil come to the people of Guyana. This budget should have had a minimum of 25% salary increase for public servants. You keep saying you don't have money, it can affect the budget. But you got 900 million to give men on a mission who lost their way and have no mission. When you look at the budget, you will see that they allocated money to areas that didn't need money, much less the amount they give to them. And so we must understand that one of the most critical instruments in the politics of a country is the budget. And when we look at this budget, we see no place for the people. They could call it, what is it they said? Look, they said dumb. Even we words, they had to take, putting people first. And they cannot put people first. If you like teeth, you're going to put your fingers first, not people. And so we must not be fooled. They will not and cannot put people first because they believe in getting rich. They believe in getting rich at the expense of the people, and therefore, by the very logic, they cannot put people first. They will always put themselves first. And when they put themselves first, we, the people, perish. I know you have been here a while, and I know it's Friday evening, but I want to deal with one last area. You will hear me speaking regularly about a man who was born 103 years ago today. You will hear me continuously speak about Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. And I will speak with him about him because he's the best president we ever had. I said today, you do not judge a president or a leader by the wealth he or she accrues. You judge them by the service they give to their people. And when it comes to education, the best leader that ever served the people of this country was Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. When it comes to infrastructure, without oil, again, the best was Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. I said to people, many people who you see as so-called big boys today benefit from a sound education. Ask Mark Phillips. He can tell you. He is not a PPP produced child. He probably has been misled. But he got free education, which he was entitled to. Don't misunderstand me. He was entitled to it. And we're glad that he got it, but only make it blasted ice past Forbes Burnham. Or else he will feel the full blunt of the PNC. We have tolerated some of their ignorance for too long. None of them can put their foot in Burnham's shoes. And we have nothing to be ashamed of. They start to talk about grow more food. That's a shame if they forget that is just what Burnham said. I want to say this to you in closing. We have a clear guide as to what is necessary in Guyana. We have a clear idea of where we must take Guyana. And we will continue to criticize this government against our manifesto, which would have offered you a better life. And so I say to you, there is hope. There is hope. Let us work together. Let us stand together. And I am dead sure we will re-emerge stronger than ever. I thank you.
Put your hands together. Aubrey Norton. Man who knows how to fire. A man for every season. Give it up one more time. All right, Stabrook. You've been so wonderful to us. All of you who gathered here. Our special guests, VIPs in front here. Thank you guys so much for coming out on this Friday night. Next week, we're back, maybe in a different place. Stay tuned to our Facebook pages. I want to recognize some of the members of parliament who are here with us tonight, who did not speak, but who will speak at other street parliaments. Well, let me start by first honoring the chief citizen. I see Lord Mayor Alfred Mentor is here. Give it up for Mayor. Give it up for a man who earned his doctorate the right way. Another man, the one and only Dr. Dexter. Doc, stand and give us a wave. The man was firing in the National Assembly, sharing licks, beating and teaching during the course of the national budget. Who else do we have here from the National Assembly? Psycho Andrews, our brother. Where are you, Psycho? Businessman. Member of Parliament, the Honorable Psycho Andrews is here as well. He's going to be a speaker at our next street parliament. Member of Parliament, Chanel Smith Daniels. The one and only. We have Angoy, the one and only. Give us a wave, Angoy. He's one of our key movers and shakers. My sister, the one and only Jurita Finance. Jurita looking wrong. Sister? Who's the sister? We need sister come. The Honorable Jurita Finance. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? Jurita Chanel says over there. Who else do we have, folks? Oh, did I see the one and only Georgetown District Chairman? Did I see him? The one and only Troy Garraway. Give it up for him. He's a boss in his own right. Where's Troy? And all the other folks.
I can't take it no more.
Who are here tonight?
Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue, cause I done fed up. You done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption